All right, diving deep today into mystical realms, Kabbalah and the Law of One.
Two traditions that seem worlds apart, but
Yeah. But you've given us some fascinating material here, some classic Kabbalistic texts like the Sephirot here,
right, right,
and interpretations of Rye's teachings,
yeah,
even connections to Native American sweat lodge symbolism.
yeah, yeah. Amazing how these different paths can converge, isn't it? That's what we're going to unpack, right? How do these systems from different cultures, how do they kind of illuminate each other?
I think that's the exciting part for sure. I'm already feeling those aha moments bubbling up.
Right.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's start with Kabbalah. Many people hear Kabbalah and immediately think of the Zohar.
Right, the Zilmar.
But I think
Yeah.
there's a lot more to it than that, right?
Absolutely. The Zohar is just one piece. Kabbalah has a much richer history. Earlier texts like the Sifri Yetzirah and the Sefer HaBahir lay the foundation.
So it's not just some mystical fad.
Not at all. Not at all.
In fact, some scholars see Kabbalah as a response to the rise of medieval philosophy, a way to kind of reclaim the esoteric heart of Jewish thought.
So it's about understanding the deeper hidden dimensions of reality.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's a great way to put it.
I'm starting to see the depth here for sure.
Yeah.
And then there's the central concept of the 10 Sephirot,
Yes.
often depicted as the tree of life, right?
Yeah, the tree of life, exactly. These Sephirot, they're emanations of the divine.
Oh, wow.
They're dynamic forces. They shape reality itself.
Help me
Each one represents a different aspect of
Let me wrap my head around that. Are we talking about literal forces here or more like metaphorical energies?
Think of them as both.
Okay.
They're archetypal energies. They shape our consciousness and the world around us,
Oh.
but they also have a very real impact on our lives. I'm starting to see how this connects to the Law of One, which brings in these densities of consciousness, which you mentioned aren't physical places.
Yes, right?
How do they fit into all of this?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. Ra describes these densities as evolving levels of awareness.
Okay.
And right now, right, we're here on Earth. We're in third density. It's a realm where we grapple with duality, free will, and the illusion of separation from the divine.
So third density is where we learn and grow through challenges.
Exactly.
Okay.
That makes sense.
That resonates for sure, yeah.
Yeah, all the ups and downs, right?
Yeah.
The experience. And a big question for those following the Law of One is what it means to be, harvestable for fourth density.
Right.
The next level of awareness, what qualities help us move up that spiral of consciousness?
Now, here's where I'm really curious. Can we actually map those 10 Sephirah
Yeah.
onto Ra's 7 densities? Is there a direct correlation?
It's not a perfect one-to-one match,
Okay.
but there are intriguing parallels. For example, Keter, the crown in Kabbalah, represents the unknowable source of all things.
Wow.
Right. It could correspond to the unity of seventh density or even the pre-creation state
Oh, wow.
that describes.
That's mind-blowing. We're talking about the very essence of creation here.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And what about Chokmah and Bina?
Yeah.
Their wisdom and understanding, right? Where do they fit in?
Yeah, high up on the tree of life as well. They resonate with the archetypal mind that Ra discusses.
Okay.
The blueprint for creation itself.
Okay.
Chokmah and Bina, they represent the primal forces of wisdom and understanding that give rise to all manifestation.
So those higher Sephirot seem to align with Ra's concept of higher densities.
Yeah.
Those realms of expanded consciousness.
Exactly.
Okay, you're catching on.
That makes sense.
And as we move down the tree of life, the lower Sephirot, like Yesod.
Foundation might correspond with our third density experiences.
Okay.
Think about it. Yesod relates to physicality and the illusion of separation, which are key themes in our current reality.
That's really interesting. It's as if the lower Sephirot reflect the denser, more fragmented reality we experience in third density,
Right.
while the higher Sephirot point us towards the unity and interconnectedness of higher densities.
Precisely. It's like
Oh.
we're looking at two different maps of
Yeah.
the same spiritual landscape,
Yeah.
each offering its own unique perspective on the journey of consciousness.
Okay. So we've found some potential connections between the Sephirot and Ra's densities.
Yes.
Especially at the higher levels.
Uh-huh.
But what other insights can we glean by comparing these two traditions?
Well, beyond this, chart analogy,
Yeah.
both Kabbalah and the Law of One emphasize several core ideas when it comes to spiritual growth.
Mm.
For instance, the importance of balance.
Balance. Can you expand on that a bit?
Yeah, in Kabbalah, it's about the harmonious interplay of the Sephirot, ensuring no one aspect dominates the others.
Okay.
Right. In Ra's teachings, it's about balancing our energy centers
Oh.
and integrating mind, body, and spirit.
So no matter which path you're on, finding that inner harmony seems to be a key ingredient for spiritual progress.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Another shared theme is the idea of free will as the engine of evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Both systems see our choices as central to our growth.
Interesting. So both Kabbalah and the Law of One empower us to take an active role in our own spiritual development.
Exactly.
Okay.
Kabbalah emphasizes ethical action, or
Yeah.
mitzvot, aligning our actions with divine will. Ra highlights the polarity of service to self versus service to others,
Mm-hmm.
suggesting that our choices ultimately determine our direction on the path.
This is already giving me so much to think about. It's amazing how these seemingly disparate traditions are starting to weave together into this tapestry of shared wisdom.
It really is. It really is. And let's not forget the power of language and symbols.
Right.
Kabbalah delves deep into the mystical significance of the Hebrew alphabet,
Okay.
seeing it as a blueprint of creation itself.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, Ra uses the tarot as a tool for understanding archetypes and the deeper patterns of reality.
I love how both traditions recognize that symbols are more than just images or words.
Right.
They hold profound meaning and can act as gateways to deeper levels of understanding.
Precisely.
This is also fascinating. But I'm curious,
Yeah.
how can we bridge these mystical teachings with the practicalities of modern life? What's the real world relevance for our listeners, many of whom might be juggling busy schedules, demanding responsibilities?
Yeah.
How do we integrate this?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
And it's where things get really exciting. Both Kabbalah and the Law of One offer profound insights into how we can navigate our daily lives with greater awareness, purpose, and meaning.
I'm eager to hear more,
Yeah.
but I think we'll have to save that for the next part of our deep dive. Stay tuned, listeners,
Yeah.
because we're just getting started.
It's really, one of the most exciting things about exploring Kabbalah and the Law of One side by side is that they provide multiple perspectives
Yeah.
on fundamental truths.
It's like they're singing different melodies,
Yeah.
but ultimately harmonizing in this same grand symphony.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hearing the same truth expressed in different ways through different cultural lenses, it can really unlock
Yeah.
a deeper level of understanding.
Those aha moments, right?
Right.
When a concept suddenly clicks
Yeah.
because you see it from a fresh angle.
Precisely. And as we explore the real world relevance of these teachings, I think it's crucial to remember that both Kabbalah and the Law of One, they ultimately empower us.
Empowerment. That's a powerful word. What does that mean in the context of these traditions?
Well, both systems emphasize that we're not merely passive recipients of fate
Mhm.
or divine will. We have the power to choose our path,
Okay.
shape our reality, and co-create with the divine.
So it's not about blindly following rules or dogmas,
Right.
but about actively participating in our own evolution.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where the teachings on balance, free will, and ethical action become essential. They give us a framework for making choices aligned with our highest good and the good of the whole.
It's like they're giving us the tools to become conscious creators, right?
Yeah.
To shift from powerlessness to agency and
Yeah.
responsibility,
Yeah.
and that sense of empowerment can be incredibly liberating, especially when the world feels chaotic and overwhelming.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can definitely relate to that. So, how do these teachings on empowerment translate into everyday life? What are some practical examples?
Let's take the Kabbalistic concept of tikkun olam, which means repairing the world. It's rooted in the idea that we each have a responsibility to heal the brokenness around us, to be agents of positive change.
It's like a call to action, reminding us that we're we're not just here for our individual journeys,
Right.
but to contribute to the collective good.
Precisely, and this aligns beautifully with Ra's teachings on service to others. It's about recognizing our interconnectedness
Mhm.
and using our unique gifts and talents
Yeah.
to positively impact the world.
And it doesn't have to be, about grand gestures. It can
Right.
be as simple as, a kind word,
Exactly.
helping someone in need,
Yeah.
or simply showing up with an open heart
Yeah.
for someone who's struggling.
Exactly. Even the smallest acts of kindness can have a ripple effect, creating a more harmonious and loving reality for all.
That reminds me, serving others doesn't mean neglecting our own
That's
needs.
right.
True service requires cultivating inner balance
Yes,
and well-being first.
absolutely.
Right.
That's where self-care and energy management come in.
Yeah.
We must replenish our own energy reserves
Yeah.
to give freely to others.
Like the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. We must prioritize our physical, our mental, and our spiritual health
Right.
to show up fully for ourselves and
Yeah.
for the world.
And that brings us back to balance. So central to both Kabbalah and the Law of One.
Yeah.
It's about finding that harmonious integration of all aspects of ourselves: the light and shadow,
Yeah.
the masculine and feminine, the spiritual and material.
So it's not about denying or suppressing any part of ourselves,
Right.
but acknowledging and integrating all those different facets.
Precisely. As we cultivate, inner balance,
Yeah.
we become grounded, resilient, and better able to navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom.
That's a beautiful image. Finding inner equilibrium amidst life's constant flux and flow.
It's a lifelong journey.
Here.
It demands ongoing self-reflection, honesty,
Right.
and a willingness to face our shadows.
I think that's one of the most valuable aspects of these teachings.
Yeah.
They encourage us to do the deep inner work to
Kabbalah.
face our fears, our limitations,
Yes.
and ultimately transform ourselves from the inside out.
Absolutely. As we do this work, we not only evolve ourselves, but we contribute to the collective evolution of humanity and the cosmos.
Like the butterfly effect. Even small changes within ourselves can ripple outward and create positive change on a grand scale.
You got it.
Right.
That's why our spiritual journey isn't just a solo mission. We're all interconnected, and our choices and actions impact the whole.
It's a powerful reminder that we're not alone on this path. We're part of this vast web of consciousness, all striving towards greater understanding, love, and unity.
And that sense of unity is ultimately the goal, isn't it? To transcend the illusion of separation and realize our interconnectedness with all that is.
Absolutely. Both Kabbalah and the Law of One point towards that ultimate realization, merging the individual self with the divine, like a drop rejoining the ocean.
And that journey of unification, of returning to wholeness,
Mhm.
it's mirrored in the Tree of Life's structure. As we ascend the Sephirot, we move from fragmentation to integration, from duality to unity.
Like a cosmic ladder,
Yeah.
leading us step by step towards realizing our true nature.
Similarly, Ra's teachings describe a progression through densities of consciousness, culminating in the seventh density,
Yeah.
where all is one.
So both systems offer a roadmap
Yeah.
for our spiritual journey, a way to understand the process of evolution and the goal of unification.
Exactly. And as we study these systems, we see that the journey isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about the transformation along the way.
It's about the lessons, the challenges we overcome,
Right.
and the love we cultivate in every moment.
That's what makes the journey so rich and meaningful. It's not just about what we achieve, but who we become
Yeah,
in the process.
that's such a powerful reminder. It's not about checking boxes or achieving external goals. It's about the inner alchemy, the transformation of consciousness
Yeah.
as we walk the path.
And that transformation ultimately ripples outward, creating positive change in the world.
So it's a cyclical process, right?
Yeah.
Inner transformation leading to outer change,
Yeah.
inspiring further inner growth.
Precisely. That's why both Kabbalah and the Law of One emphasize integrating spiritual practice with daily life.
It's not about escaping the world or retreating into a spiritual bubble.
Right, right.
It's about bringing those spiritual principles and insights
Yeah.
into every aspect of our lives,
Yeah.
our relationships,
Yeah.
our work, our interactions with the world.
Precisely. As we do that, we see that spirituality is separate from life.
Yeah,
It's woven into the very fabric of our existence.
like the saying, "The sacred is in the ordinary."
Mm.
Every moment,
Mm.
every interaction has the potential to be a doorway to the
Yeah.
divine.
And as we cultivate that awareness, we shift from a fragmented perception of reality to a more holistic
Yeah.
and interconnected one.
Like those moments when you glimpse the interconnectedness of all things, a breathtaking sunset, a random act of kindness,
Right.
moment of deep connection with another being.
Exactly. Those are glimpses of unity where the ego dissolves and we experience the interconnectedness of all things.
Yeah.
As we
Yeah.
cultivate those moments, they begin to influence our everyday lives.
So we start to see the divine spark in everyone,
Yeah.
even those who challenge us.
Right.
We recognize the interconnectedness
Yeah.
of all life,
Mm.
from the smallest insect to the vastness of the cosmos.
Exactly, and that shift in perspective can profoundly impact how we live. Right, we become more compassionate, more forgiving, more
Yeah.
understanding. We see that we're all in this together, and our actions ripple outward, affecting the whole.
Like the saying, "What you do to others, you do to yourself." We realize that harming another ultimately harms ourselves,
Yes,
and kindness and compassion create a more harmonious reality for everyone.
and that brings us to the importance of ethical action, so central to both Kabbalah and the Law of One.
Yeah.
It's about aligning our choices with the principle of unity, recognizing that our actions have consequences,
Mhm.
not just for ourselves, but for the entire web of life.
So it's about moving beyond self-interest and considering the well-being of the whole and everything we do, acting from love, compassion, and understanding,
Yes.
rather than fear, greed, or separation.
Precisely.
Right.
That's where the teachings on service to others become so vital. It's about using our unique gifts to make a positive difference, to contribute to the healing and evolution of all beings.
And it's not about striving for some future reward or recognition
Right.
for our actions. It's about the inherent joy and fulfillment that comes from aligning ourselves with unity and acting in service to the greater good.
Exactly. True. Service arises from love, not obligation or expectation.
Mhm.
It's a natural expression of our interconnectedness, recognizing we're part of something larger
Yeah,
than ourselves.
that realization can be incredibly empowering, right?
Yeah.
Freeing us from the limitations of ego and opening us up to boundless possibilities.
Absolutely. It's like stepping out of a tiny room into a vast, open sky. Embracing unity, we tap into a limitless source of creativity, compassion, and wisdom.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful so far.
Yeah, it really has.
We've explored profound connections between Kabbalah and the Law of One, from aligning the Sephirot with Ra's densities to their shared emphasis on balanced free will and the power of symbols. But most importantly, we've begun to bridge these mystical teachings with practical ways to navigate our modern lives.
Indeed, and as we continue, we'll delve even further into the practical applications of these teachings,
Okay.
exploring how they can help us cultivate spiritual growth, navigate challenging situations, and ultimately lead more meaningful and fulfilling lives.
I'm already eager to dive deeper. Stay tuned, listeners, because there's much more to come. It's amazing how these ancient systems, Kabbalah and the Law of One, they offer such practical guidance for modern life, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about balance, free will, ethical action, and now this idea of unity. It seems to connect everything.
What's fascinating is that both traditions present unity not just as this abstract concept, but as something we can experience.
Now, that's what I want to understand better. How do we actually experience unity, especially in a world that often feels so divided?
Well, Kabbalah speaks in the Shekinah, the feminine aspect of God as being present in all creation.
Okay.
It's a beautiful reminder that the divine spark resides within every being, every object, every aspect of reality.
So instead of seeking unity somewhere out there, it's about recognizing the interconnectedness that already exists right here, right now.
Precisely.
Okay.
And the law of one emphasizes this too, right? We're all part of the same cosmic energy field, ultimately emanating from the one infinite creator.
Right.
We're all sparks of that same divine light.
It's like we're all instruments playing
Yeah.
different parts in this grand orchestra of existence.
Yeah, I love that analogy.
Each
Unique but contributing to the same symphony.
Yeah, and when we tune into that sense of interconnectedness, we start to see the world through a different lens.
Yeah.
We move from separation and judgment to compassion and understanding. That sounds beautiful in theory, but how do we cultivate that awareness of unity in our everyday lives, right? It can't be easy with all the distractions and demands.
It does take conscious effort, you're right.
Yeah.
But there are practices that can help us tap into that underlying field of unity. Meditation is a powerful tool.
Okay.
When we quiet the mind and connect with our inner stillness, we can experience that interconnectedness more directly.
So it's about going beyond the surface level of our thoughts and emotions to connect with something deeper, or something that unites us all.
Exactly. And another practice is simply paying attention to the present moment.
Yeah.
When we're fully present, not dwelling on the past or worrying about the future, we can experience the interconnectedness of everything unfolding around us.
I can relate to that. It's like those moments when you're totally absorbed in something, maybe walking in nature, listening to music, having a deep conversation, and you lose track of time because you're so connected to the present moment.
Precisely. Those are glimpses of unity, moments where the ego dissolves and we experience the interconnectedness of all things.
Yeah.
And as we cultivate those moments, they begin to influence our everyday lives.
So we start seeing the divine spark in others, even those who challenge us. We recognize the interconnectedness of all life.
Exactly.
From the tiniest insects to the vastness of the cosmos.
Exactly. And that shift in perspective changes everything.
Yeah.
We become more compassionate, more forgiving, more understanding.
Yeah.
We see that we're all in this together, and our actions ripple outward, affecting the whole.
Yeah, it brings to mind that saying, what you do to others, you do to yourself, right? We begin to understand that harming another ultimately harms ourselves.
Yeah.
And kindness and compassion create a more harmonious reality for everyone.
And that leads us to the importance of ethical action, which is so central to both Kabbalah and the law of one.
Right.
It's about aligning our choices with this principle of unity, recognizing that our actions have consequences not just for us, but for the entire web of life.
So it's about moving beyond self-interest and considering the well-being of the whole in our actions, acting from a place of love, compassion, and understanding rather than, fear, greed, or separation.
Precisely.
Right.
And that's where the teachings on service to others become so crucial. It's about using our unique gifts and talents to make a positive difference in the world, to contribute to the healing and evolution of all beings.
And it's not about chasing some future reward or seeking recognition for our actions.
Right.
It's about the joy and fulfillment that naturally arise when we align ourselves with this principle of unity and act in service to the greater good.
Exactly. True service comes from a place of love, not obligation or expectation.
Okay.
It's a natural expression of our interconnectedness.
It's like we're tapping into a deeper source of purpose,
Yeah.
meaning when we understand this interconnectedness,
Hmm.
it's not about uh, achieving some grand outcome, but embodying that unity
Yes.
in our everyday
That's
life.
a beautiful way to put it, and that realization is incredibly empowering. It frees us from the limitations of ego and opens us up to a world of possibilities.
It's like stepping out of a tiny, cramped room and into a vast open sky, right? When we embrace the principle of unity, we tap into an unlimited source of creativity, compassion, and wisdom.
You got it. These mystical teachings remind us that we are not just individuals struggling to survive, right? We're divine beings, interconnected with all of creation, and we have the power to co-create a reality based on love, harmony, and unity.
That's a vision worth striving for.
It is. It is.
It inspires me to keep exploring these teachings and finding ways to weave them into my life.
Yeah, the beauty of this journey is that it's an ongoing exploration. There's always more to discover, more to integrate, more to share.
Well, deep divers, we've taken quite a journey into the heart of Kabbalah and the Law of One. We've uncovered profound connections, explored practical applications, and hopefully sparked some inspiration within you.
Remember, the path to unity is a journey, not a destination. Embrace the process, trust your inner guidance, and keep diving deeper into the mysteries of existence.
Until next time, may your hearts be open, your minds clear, and your spirits aligned with the boundless love and wisdom of the One.